The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Jimbo and Bond take flight. 80s dreams are its delight. In the realm of black and white. Movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Famous around the world, please welcome the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch,
I love you, Johnny!
and The Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's Clobberin Time.
That's just in the cartoon. Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
What is that? Get us out of here, Ben. Hold on! Are we safe?
I don't know. The clock is ticking. We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him?
I like that. The four of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo, and I'm joined once again by my co-host,
Hey, this is Bond in Texas.
Bond. Tonight we are discussing a more recent movie. I think it was last year. And it stars probably some of my favorite comic book characters of all time.
Wow, that's a big one, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like Superman, Batman, and then these guys, man.
You must be talking about the Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Five.
Oh, they are five. The Fantastic Four First Steps 2025 American superhero film. Part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU.
So, Bond, we've seen several reincantations of the Fantastic Four. You know, we had the original one that came out, plus then it was the Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then more recently we had the remake, and then we had this one.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you put this one in that lineage?
Man, you could go back. I think there was like a really cheesy version, like a Roger Corman
Oh
version
yeah,
of the Fantastic Four back in the
Remember that one?
70s, 80s, early 80s maybe. I think this is number one. I think this is the best rendition of the Fantastic Four yet because they stuck to Jack Kirby. They stuck to Stan Lee. They stuck to what works. You know what I'm saying? The original ideas.
And you know what I like about this movie? We don't have an origin story.
Yes.
Every time we get a Fantastic Four, they have to reset it and tell the origin story. If you don't know anything about the Fantastic Four by now, I mean, come on, you can only retell it so much, right?
I was so relieved when they stopped telling these Spider-Man and Batman origin stories in every movie.
And the movies got better because of it.
Yeah. It's like, it's just a default that, hey, these guys have these powers. If you don't know how they got them, do the research.
Now,
if you don't care, go along for the ride.
Were you disappointed that there was no Doctor Doom in this?
No, not at all. I mean, there's no Joker in the new Batman movie. There's perfectly fine that you don't pull out the big guns in the first movie.
But I'm just saying, I don't even think I saw, well, I take that back. There is a Doctor Doom in this movie at the end credits scene if you watched it.
Yes. If you watch it through the mid-credit scene that Marvel's famous for.
Right. But I mean, you know, you think of Fantastic Four and you automatically think of Doctor Doom because he is like their biggest nemesis.
That's true, man. That's true. And I think we're going to have so much Doctor Doom in 2026 that everybody will be satisfied with the amount of Doctor Doom we're getting.
Absolutely. All right, Bond.
Did you realize? Oh, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, did you realize this is the 37th Marvel movie?
Isn't that since when? Was it
I'm assuming
2001?
I'm assuming they're counting since Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie.
I didn't know if they were counting the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans or not.
I don't know. That's curious. But this is all part of the MCU, the Marvel
That is
Cinematic
ridiculous.
Universe. 37 movies now.
How much money has that franchise made, the Marvel Universe made? A gazillion.
I saw a stat that it was like 10 times more than the Star Wars franchise.
Is that not ridiculous?
And Star Wars is number 2. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's made, I mean, every movie makes close to $1 billion. And I guarantee that when the new Avengers movies start coming out, those things are going to be huge.
Oh yeah, with we got the Avengers Doomsday coming out this year.
Yep.
It's gonna be
what is it? Secret Wars is that coming?
It's gonna be ridiculous. All right, Bond, let's kick it off.
I will, man. This movie, Fantastic Four: First Steps, 2025 American superhero film. Like I said, done by Walt Disney Studios, Marvel comic books. This movie's directed by Matt Shakman. He has done the WandaVision show, the Fargo TV show. He's done Game of Thrones. They get all the big hitters. The screenplay was written by Josh Friedman. I love Josh Friedman, man. I went back and did some research. He did screenplays for The Facts of Life on television, Webster, Different Strokes. He also did the screenplay for the War of the Worlds movie and Terminator Dark Fate. So he's done some really big stuff, man. The screenplay was also written by Eric Pearson. He wrote the first Thor movie, Black Widow, and the latest Thunderbolts movie, which I thought was pretty cool. This movie is based on the creation of the Fantastic Four comic book by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And if you notice, they come out in the movie. There's a very brief little scene of them looking through the windows of Timely Comics. So I thought that was really cool.
And Bond, do you know what Timely Comics was a reference to?
I think Timely Comics is an early version of Marvel Comics.
It was the original name of the Marvel, yes.
Yeah, the original Marvel universe, yeah. So this is back before Marvel existed, right? This movie came out on July 21st, 2025, and then July 25th throughout all the United States. So it had an early release. It has a running time of 114 minutes, which is actually pretty short for a Marvel movie nowadays, a little under 2 hours. The budget was $229 million. It did $521 million.
Ridiculous.
So in the world of Marvel movies, this one might be one of the lower ones.
Yeah.
It only did $500 million.
Only.
Yeah. But it more than doubled its money, man.
Right.
It's amazing. Right? So who's in this movie, Jimbo?
Well, let me guess. There is the great what's his name? Pablo Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
Pablo
Reed Richards,
Pedro.
man. Pablo. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, otherwise known as Mr. Fantastic. If you don't know who this guy is, you've been living under a rock lately.
He is
You've never watched television or gone to the movies.
the Mandalorian.
He is the Mandalorian, which means with the Mandalorian movie coming out later this year, he'll be a $1 billion man.
Not only that, but they're returning in Avengers Doomsday too.
Exactly.
He might be $1 billion this year alone.
Yeah, he'll make $1 billion this year with his movies. He was in The Mandalorian. He's in Game of Thrones. He's on the show Narcos.
He's on everything.
He's also the star of the show The Last of Us, I think. We have Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, also known as the Invisible Woman. That's, of course, Reed Richards' pregnant wife, Johnny's older sister, and a member of the Fantastic Four. She can generate force fields. Her power is invisibility.
She's really cool. Hey, Bond,
She
real
is
quick.
in the-
Did you
Oh, yeah.
know that Pedro Pascal actually dropped out of a movie that we recently covered not too long ago to appear in this film? Do you know what movie that was?
No, which one was it? Was it Superman?
Weapons.
No way. He turned down Weapons for
He dropped out of that for this. I
Hey,
can't
that was a
blame
good
him.
choice.
I don't
Yeah, that
know.
was
They
a
were
good
both pretty
choice.
good.
Weapons won some Academy Awards, man, so you can't put that one down. Vanessa Kirby is on the show The Crown. Have you ever seen The Crown?
Oh, yeah.
It is excellent. That's a great show. Right? She's also on the show, or the movie Hobbs and Shaw, like that Fast and Furious movie Hobbs and Shaw. And she makes an appearance in the Mission Impossible movies, I think, too, like some of the latest ones. Let's see. We also have Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Ebon Bachrach, as Ben Grimm, or The Thing.
What'd you think of the thing in this one?
Oh, I love The Thing in this one, man. He looks like The Thing. For the first time ever, they got it right.
Even
It's
with
not
the
a
beard?
foam rubber soup. Yeah, in fact, in the comic book, he grows a beard
A
every
rock
once in a
beard.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has like that sander. He's all
Yeah.
like has to sand it off. I recognize him from the TV show The Bear. He plays a big role in that TV show The Bear. He is Reed's best friend, former astronaut friend, and his skin is changed into like this layer of orange rock, which kind of stinks for him because everybody else can like pass themselves off as human.
Ain't that's terrible?
He's the only one that really can't go out in public without being noticed.
And he always wears a trench coat and a hat.
Yeah, like as if that's going to cover it up.
Stop
It's like,
anything, right?
yeah. He's
And
also on
his-
the TV show Andor.
And this montage, it's clobbering time.
It's Clobberin Time. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. He's the brother of Sue Richards, and he can control fire. He can fly. So he's really cool. He was on the show Howard's End. He's also Eddie on the television show, Netflix hit series Stranger Things.
Oh man, I didn't put that together.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah, it's like
Wow.
he cut his hair.
Yeah.
Right? He cut his hair because
I see
Stranger
it
Things, he's
now.
got that 80s haircut.
Huh.
That's pretty cool. Now, here's an actress that I didn't realize I was such a big fan of. I am a big fan of Julia Garner. She plays Shalabal, or the Silver Surfer. Female Silver Surfer, mixed reviews. What do you think, man?
Well, if I remember from my Fantastic Four knowledge, I do believe that she was created by Stan Lee as the love interest of the original Silver Surfer, right?
I think so.
If I remember correctly.
That would make sense to me.
That's probably my one gripe about this movie. Nothing wrong with the character. I like the female character. She just looked weird. like the CGI was off. Does that make sense?
I think it's her hair.
Yeah, because I think
hair
the
looked weird.
Silver Surfer from the Rise of the Silver Surfer looks better than this one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I think they changed it to a female Silver Surfer because they didn't have enough female roles in this movie.
That didn't bother me at all. No, I'm fine with
It's like
that.
mostly male dominated. Julia Garner is pretty much in everything I like. She is on the television show Ozark. Great show. The Americans. Amazing. She's in the movie The Wolfman. She's in the movie Weapons.
Yep.
As the school teacher, right? She's amazing. She does a great job.
Man, she was the teacher in that too?
Yeah. Remember the teacher in Weapons?
Yeah, I remember, man. It's just,
Yeah, that's
it's
Julia
like,
Garner. It's the
Now
same
that I
actress.
think about it, she looks nothing like it though.
That's amazing, right?
Oh, even in her like
She's so
even in her
good.
like showing her like how she became with Galactus in this movie. I didn't put two and two together. Wow,
Now,
Bond,
wait a
you're
minute.
dropping some knowledge on me tonight.
Hey, if she was in Weapons, how come Pedro Pascal couldn't be in Weapons?
Probably because he had more screen time in this movie.
Okay, and she had lots of screen
And she had
time
lots
in
of screen
Weapons.
time in Weapons. So
So if she could
I
do
don't
it,
know
seems to
what
me like
I
they
don't
could-
know what part he was going to play.
That's true, because
I mean,
that
if
would
he,
have been weird if he was like the love interest. We have Sarah Niles as the chief of staff of the Future Foundation. She's on the show Ted Lasso. We have Mark Gaddis as Ted Gilbert, the host of the popular talk show, The Ted Gilbert
the
Show.
Ted Gilbert Show.
Oh, that was a good one, man. He is on the, he's a British actor, so he's on the show Sherlock.
Good show.
And he makes appearances in Game of Thrones. We have Natasha Lyonne as Rachel Rosman. That's the school teacher, Ben's love interest. You know, she kind of works at that school and he kind of like spies on her every once in a while.
Yeah.
She was in the television show American Pie. And she's in Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black. And she was on the show Pee-wee's Playhouse. I know you loved Paul Walter Hauser as Harvey Elder, the Mole Man.
Dude, he probably stole the show.
The Mole Man was great.
Yeah, he was.
I wish the Mole Man had more time.
I wish he had his own series.
I would watch the Mole Man movie. He was on the show Cobra Kai. He plays the title role of the movie Richard Jewell, the Richard Jewell movie. He has a voiceover in Inside Out 2. He plays Embarrassment in Inside Out 2. We have Ralph Ineson as Galactus.
Great.
He was in the Harry Potter films, and he's also in the movie Nosferatu.
Did you like Galactus in this movie?
I loved Galactus.
He was
man.
awesome, man.
They finally, I think they like the CG work finally caught up to Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time they try to portray him before, he looks too computery. He looks too fake. But I think that the special effects finally caught up to it. So now he doesn't look fake anymore. He
Yeah,
looks
it looked
amazing.
awesome.
The first time they show his shadow
Walking
over
into
the
New
city
York.
of New York, man, this is amazing. But that's your cast. It's a big cast. Lots of stars.
Bond, I have a question for you.
All right.
I think you're forgetting one very important cast member.
Are you talking about Herbie?
Herbie.
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 Herbie's great.
Who
Man.
was Herbie? Who was his voice? Do you know?
I don't know who Herbie was.
Did you look up Franklin?
Oh my goodness.
You forgot
Matthew
Franklin?
Wood. Matthew Wood voices the robot Herbie. Right? Ada Scott and several other babies portrayed the role of Franklin Richard.
No babies were harmed in the making of this film.
I wouldn't say that. It doesn't say that anywhere on this piece of paper I'm looking at. Right? Oh, and then Robert Downey Jr. comes out at the very, very end.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best scenes of this movie. If you remember where Galactus's whole face is on the screen and he's got little baby Franklin is just the size of like a pea right in front of him, man.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is awesome.
What's awesome is the fact that Galactus respects Franklin, right? You know what I'm saying? He's like, this is the baby that's going to take over for me.
Yeah,
That's so
he's like, he's
cool.
got so much power in him. Yeah, but you should see his poop.
I know, right? Okay, the first thing I have to mention, I don't know if we're going to go scene by scene in this one, but
No, we don't have to. We can just talk about it.
the thing I love the most about this movie was the fact that it takes place in an alternate 1960s.
Yes.
We have to talk about that, man. That was
Yes.
amazing.
Well, it takes place in an alternate universe too. Earth 828, actually. And, you know, that comes from the Fantastic Four creator Jack Kirby's birthday because his birthday was August 28th. I thought that was cool.
That is pretty neat.
Yeah. And I love the whole scenery and the costumes and the outfits and everything about this. They nailed this one out of the park with that. I tell you what I really liked about this too is at the beginning, the montage where they show, you remember the monster they're fighting from Fantastic Four issue #1 coming out of the ground, and they show up fighting it. They show the Mole Man. They show the apes. I can't remember the name of the apes, super apes
The
or whatever.
Morlock guys.
Yeah, it's all these comic books that I grew up with. Well, I know about. I didn't have a lot of them, but I mean, you know. Being a fan and to see them portrayed on the screen was just outstanding. You're like, that's the cover of #1. You know, you picked that stuff out.
And that's what they did is they actually respected the comic book fans.
Yes.
They actually went back and read some comic books before they made a movie about the Fantastic Four.
And I like how it was called, what was it called? First Steps. Is that the name of it?
Yes.
Because it's showing that, hey, this is the first steps after they get their power. And it's been, 5 years? Is that right? The 5-year anniversary?
Yeah, I think it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Since they first got their power and they've made the scene.
It is
But
so...
even the coloring, the lighting, everything's like that.
A pastel
light
or
blue,
whatever.
pastel
Yeah.
blues and whites. And there's no sharp edges. Everything's rounded like it was in the city.
It was so cool, man. It was so cool.
I love that. Just even the opening credits, like the font and the way that the opening credits roll look like a 1960s movie.
So, Bond, if we're giving us just a quick synopsis of what is happening in this movie, do you want to just give a quick paragraph sentence, if you will,
man. Go for
of what's going on?
All right, so we have Earth 828. It's been 4 years since the Fantastic Four has made their debut, and they're celebrities. And the great news is that Sue is pregnant.
Mm-hmm. With
She's
Franklin.
pregnant with Franklin, baby Franklin. At the same time, the Silver Surfer, which is a herald of Galactus, comes ahead and says, your planet has been chosen to be destroyed and eaten by Galactus. So the Fantastic Four, they go to Galactus before Galactus can get to them to try to strike a deal to see, hey, what can we do about this? And Galactus says, no problem. Give me Franklin Richards to take my place.
Yeah, give me your baby. I want your
Give me
baby.
your baby. Yeah. Like a Rumpelstiltskin situation. I want your firstborn, right? Give me your baby and I will spare your world. Now the Fantastic Four has to come back to Earth and stop Galactus without having to give up their child.
Mm-hmm. And the people are not happy about that. They're like, well, what did he want? And they're like, well, did you defeat him? They're like, no, the price was too high. And they're like, well, what did he want? And they're like, our child. And they're like, oh, so your child's more important than our lives, you know?
I have to admit, I was upset about that too. I was like, and the problem is...
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. I'm like, how could you come back with the baby?
Did you like how
You know what
they
I'm saying?
showed the baby inside of her womb? Remember, was it Galactus that showed the womb, or was it when Reed was checking
No,
her out?
I think it's her because she can use her
the
invisibility
force field.
powers.
And she's
And
like,
so-
look, he's normal. And
Yeah.
that was awesome.
She gives herself like a little X-ray.
Yeah. Well, as they're up there with Galactus, all of a sudden, Sue goes into labor. So they're trying to get her back to the ship, and they're trying to get away from Galactus and the Herald of the Silver Surfer, and boy, that was cool when she's chasing them down too, man.
The Silver Surfer's really fast.
She's really cool.
She can go faster than light. The FTL travel is what they call it. That's her energy signature. The FTL, the faster than light traveling.
You know who else can go faster than lightning? Flipper.
Flipper's faster than lightning, not faster than light. Yes. Now, if Flipper was in this movie, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I also like, I like the banter. I always like the banter between Johnny and Ben Grimm.
Yeah, the Human Torch.
Yeah,
that's great.
because they're always but in this one it's a little different because they're going to become uncles, and I really like that they brought in Herbie. I think he added a little comedic element to it, but not over the top, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they finally got the balance right, because ever since Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel movies have struggled with humor.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, you know what? This movie was funny, and it was a surprise hit that did $1 billion. Let's make all of our Marvel movies funny.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times it just doesn't land. It doesn't fit. But this movie, it kind of fit. This movie is very different from any of the other Marvel movies, in my opinion, because it's not overly silly. It's not overly dark. It's like right in the middle. It fits perfectly in that middle. It's got big, cinematic scenes in it. I kind of wish I went to go see this in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
If I would have, because I would have loved to see some of these scenes, especially like you're saying, the chase scene with the Silver Surfer, Galactus's first appearance on Earth, I think would have been huge on a big IMAX screen with the sound going on. I kind of miss the fact that I didn't get to see it at the theater.
Oh, yeah. So, Bond, there were some cameos you might have missed. There were 4 actors that appeared in this from the unreleased Fantastic Four movie in 1994, which was Alex Hyde White, who was Reed Richards, Jay Underwood, who played Johnny Storm, Rebecca Staub, who played Susan Storm, and Michael Bailey Smith as Ben Grimm. Hyde, White, and Staub provided voiceovers as newscasters, while Underwood and Bailey Smith portrayed construction workers looking up at the Human Torch during the opening montage. And Underwood's the one that salutes the counterpart. So the Human Torch is saluting the Human Torch at the beginning of them.
That's pretty neat.
So, and then I think there's a scene with all of them where they're all saying thank you, Fantastic Four. So I thought that was pretty cool that they threw that in there too. What do you think about their plan to capture Galactus?
I don't know. To me, that was
kind of weird. Kind of weak.
Reed Richards is practicing with teleportation, and he's able to teleport an egg across the lab. And I don't understand how setting up the teleportation devices around the Earth would move the Earth. You know what I'm saying? You would have to create a giant teleportation device in space with the Earth in the center of it, and then have another one somewhere else to transport it to.
Right.
But you can't just build miniature ones all around the Earth.
But Reed's idea was to build a bunch of miniature ones and make all the power go off at once to move the Earth. What was it, 100 billion miles away or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So do you think it would have been too risky to invent something to amplify Sue's powers to make the Earth appear invisible? So when Galactus gets there...
But I don't think that would have fooled Galactus, because do you remember when their plan was to have Franklin in the middle of that one, and what they do, they start fighting with Galactus, and because he's making a beeline straight for that baby, right?
Yeah, they got the baby in like that little baby carriage.
They go down, and I think Johnny Storm picks him up and takes him up to Herbie in that thing. And Galactus gets up there and he stops right before he steps over the portal, and then he just makes a beeline straight towards the Fantastic Four tower. I don't think it would have fooled him at all. Does that make sense?
I mean, because I had thought about that. I was like, why don't they just make the Earth invisible? And then when Galactus gets there, he's like, where did the Earth go? And then, but if he can still detect it, then it wouldn't work.
Right. So in the teaser trailer, Bond, there was one shot featuring John Malkovich, who was being played, and it was called an unidentified role. It was immediately speculated that he might be the Mole Man, Nathan Richards, or Red Ghost. But he was actually, in fact, to be Red Ghost. But
Nice.
shortly after the film was released, they announced that Malkovich's part had been cut for time. The Red Ghost is still mentioned during the opening montage as one of the 3 super apes is briefly seen being defeated by Mr. Fantastic. So that would have been cool to see John Malkovich in here as well.
Were there planes in this world, in this 828 universe?
There's flying cars.
Okay,
Well,
so
the
there's
Fantastic Car.
There's one flying car, the Fantastic Car.
Then there's
But-
rocket ships.
I'm just thinking when King Kong comes, they send planes to shoot at him. When aliens come from other planets, they always send planes to shoot at him.
Bond, this is a different Earth.
I know, that's what I'm asking. So when Galactus shows up, how come there's not like military planes flying around or helicopters hovering by him? You know what I'm saying?
And where's all
Even
the
if
other
they're news
where's all the
helicopters.
other superheroes? Hey, we're coming to
I
kill
don't know
them.
if there is any other superheroes in the 828.
Right. It's true.
You know, so I don't know. It's very curious to me indeed.
Yeah.
I'm not, but what did you think? That's my opinion. I'm not crazy about the plan to teleport the Earth. To me, that was a weak part in the plot.
Yeah. I wish they just came out with a way to try to defeat Galactus himself. And here's my other question. Well, I guess I understand now, because why didn't he just kill the Earth and take Franklin then? Why did he have to come to Earth and just pick him up and then kill the right? Or was he going to spare the Earth if they would have gave him the baby? Do you think he would have actually held up to his end of the bargain and left the world alone?
I think so. I think Galactus is an honest god.
You think so? About as honest as Loki, I think.
Yeah, he's an honest. Well, I think he would have. It's like if they would have said, okay, I understand. Here's Franklin. I think he would have left him alone. But my big thing is, I can't wait to see Franklin grow up. Because now everybody knows he's got the power of a god. And that is just so cool that this innocent little baby has the power of a god that even Galactus recognizes before he's born.
Franklin, go clean your room. Nah. Right.
No, I'm good.
Julia Gardner, she studied the comics and researched surfing to aid her performance as a Silver Surfer, and I think it paid off, man. Her acting was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she did was fine. It's just
she
the
looked
CGI
like she was surfing.
looked bad. Not bad,
She looked
bad,
like
but
she-
I mean, you know.
No. You were saying slightly distracting from her character.
Well, baby boy Franklin was actually played by a girl, Bond.
Oh,
That's sad. In the comics, Franklin Richards was originally an Omega level mutant, so powerful that in the 1990s, he famously created an entire universe called Heroes Reborn for those killed fighting Onslaught, which was a great series if you don't know, which was
is
the
a good one.
combination of Professor X and Magneto. During the X-Men's Krakoa, this was later retconned in March 2024 with the release of issue 26 from the 2023 Fantastic Four comic book series, to where he is a human mutate like his family, which refers to superpowered humans that are non-mutants, as unlike mutants, their powers are from actual mutation instead of being born with them and possessing the X gene. So that's one thing I don't like about comics, is they go back and there's so many being released that this is canon, this isn't canon, this is retcon, this isn't retcon. So I don't know.
it's very hard. It's very hard for new readers to come in. They make it almost inaccessible for new readers to come in and start reading a comic. You know,
Yeah.
because let's say you watch this and you're like, oh man, I'm going to go to the local comic book store and read some Fantastic Four.
You're going to be
because
lost.
I love the movie. You're not going to run into the same characters, the same storylines. It's set in modern time. It's not set in this alternate 1964 world. So you're going to be totally lost.
Vanessa Kirby recalled a cutscene, because one thing about this movie is Sue Storm has a very special relationship with the Mole Man, right? He hates Mr. Fantastic, but he loves his wife. And
I
it's
love that
funny
part.
throughout the entire movie. But she recalls a scene that was cut with Sue and the Mole Man in the very beginning of the movie. Sue goes and kicks back and has a drink with him. Well, she can't because she's pregnant. He pours her water and she wishes it was whiskey. So
Yeah.
them two together were really great too.
Yeah, it was really cool because the Mole Man would come in and go, "I'm not talking to you. I'll talk to her."
In real life, Vanessa Kirby gave birth to her first child just over a month after this film's release.
Wow.
So that is crazy. Matt Shakem left untitled Noah Hawley and a Star Trek film to direct this film. Matt Shakem was also in the middle of putting together his first director's cut of the film when he lost his home in the Pacific Palisades wildfires. Shortly after that, his mother passed. This film is dedicated to her memory. So, man.
That's sad.
This surpassed Fantastic Four 2005 as the highest grossing film in the franchise. It did so within 2 weeks of the release.
Yeah, and like I said, it's by far the best rendition of this one. Do you think there's going to be another Fantastic Four movie?
I hope so.
I mean, as far as I know, there's nothing in the pipes. There's nothing in the works.
As a fan of the Fantastic Four, I hope I don't even care if it's a Netflix series at this point or Disney Plus, whatever you want to put it on. I'm just a fan of them. And I like it because they all have the different powers and all that. They could do so much with this.
Well, I would like to see it where now it's a teenage Franklin Richards or a 9-year-old Franklin Richards. You know what I'm saying? Where we start to see his powers develop a bit. We start to see that hints of a god coming in. Because you can't just say this little newborn baby is going to be a god and never revisit that storyline.
Yeah, it would be cool if they could do like a Netflix series and show how Franklin evolves over time and how it affects Sue and Reed. I think it'd be really good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. The gold LP-shaped records, which the Alien Transmissions was recorded on, was homage to the gold record placed aboard NASA's Voyager spacecraft, which contained recordings of humankind intended to greet any aliens which might encounter Voyager. What do you think about that?
I kind of remember that they like made a record and it had like classic music on it. It had like, I think it might have like a Beatles song on there. It had a greeting in like all these different languages. And so I guess if the aliens from another universe had a record player, they'd learn a lot about us.
Yep. I didn't know, Bond, but the director of this, Matt Shakem, he returns to the MCU after he's the one that directed the TV series WandaVision. Did you watch WandaVision, Bond?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Then he did the WandaVision.
Did you like it?
I like that series.
I love that show.
I thought it was pretty good.
If there is one Marvel show that you need to watch on Disney Plus, watch WandaVision, because it starts off like in Leave It to Beaver, right? Black and white, and it progresses to the 60s and the 70s. It's so good.
They take classic sitcoms from each decade and they put Wanda and the Vision inside these sitcoms.
It is
so
cool. Good. Really good.
It's really original.
All the main actors were cast without the need for an audition or even chemistry meeting, so I thought that was pretty good. But did you notice how the Ted Gilbert Show was kind of like a homage to when the Beatles appeared on Ed Sullivan?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fantastic Four.
Oh, man. This is the first Fantastic Four film produced without the involvement of Stan Lee as an actor with a cameo since he died on November 12th, 2018. So,
yeah, like I said, I really love the Timely Comics reference where I think they fly by the window of Timely Comics and they run to the window and look outside.
Yeah.
It's such a great little Easter egg for the fans. Like my wife would watch that. It wouldn't faze her at all. She wouldn't notice. She wouldn't get it. But then you and I are going, we're geeking out, right?
Yep.
We're like, oh my gosh, that's them. They created the Fantastic Four. There they are.
The first trailer for this received 202 million online views within the first 24 hours.
That's great.
All right, Bond. Here's some people that were considered for the role of Sue Storm. Are you ready? Tell me yes or no.
Okay, here we go.
Amanda Seyfried. Seyfried.
Ooh, what is she in? I don't know.
I don't remember. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah,
I think so. Margot Robbie.
Man,
That's
I don't know.
Harley
I'm
Quinn.
tired of Margot. I'm tired of Margot Robbie.
What about Emma Stone?
Yes, Emma Stone would be great.
What about Megan Fox?
No, I don't think so.
And Kristen Bell.
Maybe.
Yeah. David Tennant, who played Kilgrave on Jessica Jones, revealed that he wanted to play Reed Richards real bad in this movie.
How come they didn't get the guy from
How come they did
The Office?
That's what I'm saying. He was in, what was that? What was that? Was that Guardians of the Galaxy? No, 3? Where they went to the council. Remember when he was in there and he played Reed Richards?
Yeah, and everybody went crazy when they saw what's his name? Straczynski?
John
I don't
Krasinski.
remember. Yeah, Krasinski. There you go. When they showed him as Reed Richards, man, all the geeks and everybody went crazy for that.
He did a fantastic job too, man. I thought
Yeah,
he was I thought he was a fine Reed Richards.
Exactly. So I guess they're playing that off as
A different universe.
A different universe, Reed Richards.
All right,
In
here's
the
some
828, it's Pascal.
here's some roles for Reed Richards. Are you ready?
Okay.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, it'd be okay.
What about Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, that would actually be really good.
What about Matt Smith?
What's he in? Let me
He's the guy from Doctor Who, and he was also in what's the Game of Thrones, the newer
Oh, the Dragons?
yeah, what's not the first one and not the new one, the one in between that we're waiting on. Like season 2's done, we're gonna go season 3. House of the Dragons.
Yeah, House of Dragons.
Yeah, he plays
Okay. Yeah, I think he'd be all right then.
Yeah, I think it'd be really good. As a promotional tie-in, Zillow posted a real estate listing for the Baxter Building priced at $4,444,444. The listing included a link to the trailer.
That's funny. Everybody's clicking on it. Right?
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine? There's probably somebody out there who's like, "I'll buy that."
Exactly.
Wrong. Let's see here. Dude, Pedro Pascal has just been in about everything, man.
That's what I'm saying. You would have to live under a rock not to know who this guy is by now.
I mean, just so much. Josh,
and to me, I don't know. Maybe to me, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
because it's like I didn't know who this guy was. The next thing you know, he's in everything.
He's in everything. Joss Whedon was rumored to direct in early development. Chris Rock campaigned for J.J. Abrams to direct this film. What do you think?
I think both of those guys would have done an amazing job. Josh Whedon is he's really underrated. I think he's one of those guys who either love him or hate him, and I think he would have done a great job. Abrams has proven he can handle big budget movies like those Star Trek franchises.
Oh, yeah. Did you like how NASA in this movie is ANSA?
Oh, that's pretty funny. I don't even know if I noticed that. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Doug Jones, who played the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer in 2007, praised Julia Gardner's portrayal of the Silver Surfer, saying, "I thought Julia Gardner did such a gorgeous job. I thought it was brave of her to step into that, knowing that fans were going to be like, wait a second. But she was great, did it with great poise and great courage." So,
yeah, I agree.
This film was on the short list of the Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects, but was not nominated. Bond, was there any other more awards that this was linked to? Do you know?
I didn't see any. Let me do some quick looking, but I didn't see any. I'm surprised that it didn't get nominated for Best Special Effects because just the way it was done, it's so subtle. You know what I'm saying? The special effects were so subtle in some places, and then in other places it was over the top. So I'm really surprised, man.
Yeah.
Right?
The Russo brothers directed the post-credit scenes with Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. if you hang around to the end of this movie, folks, because you will get to see a cool little mid credit scene or end credit scene. It was really great too.
All right, you sitting down, man? Because I got a list of awards.
Did we win some?
We did win a few.
All right.
The ADG Excellence in Production and Design Awards. The category Excellent in Production Design for a Fantasy Film. It won. It's nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for Best Production. It was just nominated. Best Original Score nominated. The Saturn Awards. It won for Best Cinematic Adaptation of a Film. It won for Best Film Production and was nominated for Directing, Screenwriting, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Editing, Best Music, Best Costume, Best Visual Effects. It was nominated for a bunch of the Saturn Awards, but it only came away with 2. But yeah, so it was. Apparently, everybody recognized the production of this movie, and everybody recognized some of the screenwriting and the editing. And
right,
I thought the costumes are great because it was a mix of 1960s and superhero.
We all know that Johnny Storm always has a catchphrase. What is it, Bond? Do you know?
His catchphrase is "Flame on!"
Right. So when he turns his body into a tire fireball, if you will, but he doesn't say that in this movie. He never shouts it out. But there is, when he's eating cereal, he finds a Johnny Storm toy in his cereal, remember? Which speaks the catchphrase over and over and over, and then Ben just like crushes it to dust or whatever.
Yeah, and Ben's got a great catchphrase that he hates.
Yeah. It's cooking time. No, or supper time. Right?
It's clobberin' time.
Yeah.
He's all, I don't say that.
And when traveling home, the team needs to reach 0.88, the speed of light, to be able to move through the wormhole. And Back to the Future, hope ADZs is listening, the DeLorean must reach 88 miles an hour to activate its flux capacitor and travel through time. And Bond, last but not least, the book that Sue is looking for to give to Franklin at the end appears to be A Fly Went By, a beginner's book written in 1958 by Mike McClintock. So you probably had that when you were younger, I'm pretty sure. So
I don't think it had come out yet.
Yeah, my first production, right?
Yeah, I have first edition.
All right, Bond, give me your thoughts, feelings, and ratings of Fantastic Four First Steps.
It's so much fun to do. I know this is new for the Tragedy of Cinema to start tackling newer movies. And so I think this is a newer movie. We did Weapons. We did Superman. I was really pleasantly surprised when I watched this one. I knew that it was a hit, but I was so afraid to watch it when I heard that they were coming out with a Fantastic Four movie because I was like, they're going to mess this up.
They always do.
They always do. They've tried 3 times or 4 times, and every time you get some mediocre product. So I was really afraid that they were going to mess this one up, but they didn't. Why? Because they read a comic book or 2. Here's a crazy idea. Study the history of the characters and the comic before you write a screenplay.
Or even if you're one of the actors portraying one of the characters, find out who they were.
Yeah, read a comic book. They did that. They respected the history. They respected the lore. They respected Jack Kirby, like you said, with an homage to the Fantastic Four #1. I love the details. The connection to that 1960s vibe was there throughout. But it was weird because it was like if technology of today never matured past the 60s, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like this one. I give it a big thumbs up. I think if you're not a big fan of superhero movies, you'll still kind of like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you won't be too lost in the lore where you're like, I don't know who these people are.
Well, you might not understand all the powers that they have, but you'll quickly learn.
Yeah, you figured out in the first few minutes. I give this movie a strong 8, 7.5 to 8. Which is pretty high for a superhero comic book movie. Like I said, there's a couple plot holes that I didn't like. I didn't like how how they were going to transport the Earth
Teleport
to another
Earth, yeah.
location. That was kind of silly. I'm thinking 7.5 to 8. I'm assuming my prop piece can't be Herbie because you can't get like a character as your prop piece, even though he's a robot. So I'm going to take, let's see, there's so many cool little things. I'm going to take the baby carrier that they use.
That's
they
a
put
good one.
Franklin in.
It's a good one, man.
It's like an egg, and they put him in this like egg. I want that little baby carrier that they put Franklin in.
Really cool. So, me being a big Fantastic Four fan, I had the same thoughts as you. I was like, here we go again. Here we go again, right? I'm either gonna, I mean, I like the old ones, right? I really, they had some comedy.
They're okay.
I didn't care for the remake they did. What was that, in 2015 or whatever it was? It was
Is that the one where they made all the Fantastic Four like in their 20s?
Yeah, it was.
They were all like 23 years old.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was-
who are these guys?
Yeah. Now, my biggest gripe about this is the CGI of the Silver Surfer lady. I think she did a fantastic job acting it. It just looked really weird to me, if that makes sense. It looks really weird. And it probably is her hair now that you say that. The CGI in this is top notch. Galactus is outstanding. When they go see him and he's sitting on his throne or whatever, I got goosebumps, man, because just seeing all those electrical lights on him and everything when he starts talking and when they're trying to escape that whole thing with the Silver Surfer, they're like, oh, we're going to the speed of light. She'll never catch us. Right. And she comes flying through. I was like,
And she can keep up with them. That was so great.
And then when they say, well, we're going to go through this black hole or whatever, remember, there's like, oh, well, it's going to suck her back. It's going to take her like years to find us again. Nope. She come right after him, right? Yeah. To me, though, the story was a little weak. The whole story was. I liked the story, but I just think it was a little weak. The like I said, the whole moving the Earth thing, probably should have done without that. You know, how are you going to beat Galactus? Maybe you could have had Franklin defeat Galactus as a baby or something crazy just to show how powerful he really is. Because they didn't really kill Galactus. They just sent him off to another dimension or whatever, or millions of miles, billions of miles away or whatever. It'll take forever to get back. For me, okay, Bon, I got to talk about one of my favorite scenes of this movie, and we didn't even graze it. And that's when Mr. Fantastic is going after Galactus. And Galactus grabs him and he stretches him out, dude. Like his arms are going, and Mr. Fantastic's like shirts ripping and all that, right? I was hoping he was going to shoot him like a rubber band and just see him roll.
For sure he was going to shoot him across the universe.
I was going to die laughing if he went flying.
It was almost as if he had like gum stuck to his fingers and he was like stretching
like
them
silly
out.
putty or something.
Yeah, like silly putty or gum.
Now,
I thought he was going to shoot him.
Here's my question with you on that. Why would that hurt Mr. Fantastic if he can stretch?
I think there's a limit to his stretchability.
Is there?
Well, Galactus was going to test him to see if there was for
well,
sure.
But it was obviously hurting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was really
so
cool.
far, but the molecules at some point, starts to hurt.
What I did like about this movie is that it shows that a mother's love conquers all. Because Sue did everything, even to the point of killing her in this movie. Spoiler alert, she dies. Mm-hmm. But they lay Franklin down on her and she comes back to life.
Franklin brings her back to life.
Yeah, it was really cool.
But there's your godlike powers of Franklin right there, right?
Yep.
They put a newborn baby on top of her and she.
Yep. So for me, I'm right there giving it probably an 8. I wish I could give it higher because I do like it and I want to see more of them. And here's one thing I hate. I hate when you start getting something like this that's good and then the actors start getting too old before they decide to make another one. So then we got to recast everybody again. And I hope they can pull something out to keep it all together and give us at least 2 more movies, hopefully. I know they'll be in Doomsday. We'll see what happens there. My prop piece, I'm probably going to take one of the Fantastic Four watches. You remember where they're all at the movie studio? It's like, alert, alert, alert. On their watches.
Those are nice.
I think I'm going to take one of those. That way I have something cool to wear and wear around the house.
That's true. What am I doing carrying around a baby carriage for no reason?
Put your cat, put Bandit in it.
I'll put Bandit in the baby carrier.
Galactus can't have Bandit. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review of Fantastic Four First Steps. If you have not seen it, definitely give it a watch and let us know what you think. Bond, where can they let us know what they think of it?
You can go to Facebook, right? The Tragedy of Cinema. And check us out on Facebook. They can also email us directly at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. And that's a great way to get a hold of us directly. And if it's entertaining enough, we'll read it out loud. We'll read it in the next podcast. It says, you know what, that Jimbo, I don't know if we watched the right movie. He was way off.
That was terrible.
The Silver Surfer was the best character.
All right, guys. Well, we thank you once again for listening. You know, we do this for fun and hopefully to bring you a little enjoyment in your life or smile every once in a while. You know, me and Bond poke fun at each other, but that's what it's all about, having fun. And I just want to say once again, thanks to Bond for being my co-host. I think he came on board and he's doing a fantastic job. And I was always told to respect my elders.
That's right. Hey, you know what time it is, don't you?
It's time that this episode.
Clobberin Time. Clobberin Time. How'd you get that wrong?
I was going to say that it's time for this episode to come to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most.
Hey, Bond.
Yeah, what's up?
Couple Fantastic Four jokes for you real quick. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
What would you call the Fantastic Four if Snoop Dogg joined the team?
I don't know what.
The High Five.
Oh, nice.
And Bond, what would happen if Snoop Dogg joined the Fantastic Four?
What would happen?
I don't know either, but let's just say that the Thing would no longer be the only one stoned.